follow your own path? Like, did you do this solo weekend thing to kind of break away, or was it like something you found along the way? So
No,
you're in Michigan. You're like, ah, man, I'm just not loving life. How did the transition go for you?
yeah, the solo weekend was born. This whole idea of so I felt disconnected from my job 2017. Something was off. I started looking at real estate in the path of going into real estate. Like I love the outcome of real estate. I love what real estate does, tax advantages, cash flow, all of that stuff. But I realized as well, like there's parts of real estate I don't like. I don't like underwriting deals. We talked about that, right? I don't
Yeah.
like construction or rehab. Like, I mean, I love seeing the outcome, but I'm not the guy that like, oh man, I can't wait to dive into this property and tear it apart, whatever. What do I like? I love the interactive part of real estate, raising capital, investor relations. I love marketing. I wanted to be a sportscaster, which means I like storytelling, right? So building a brand kind of became my thing. Like I built a brand within real estate, which attracted capital and investors and deals. And that's kind of the path I went down, right? So I start building this brand while I have my W-2 job. I start buying real estate while I have my W-2 job. The brand becomes like, oh, well, wait, people want to get closer to some of the things I'm doing, some of the things I'm teaching and I've learned. So, I've got this online education company launching at the same time as all of this. And it came to January 2021, almost 2 years ago now, my accountability pod challenged me because I kept saying I want to go away for a month to a destination of my choosing with my wife and kids. And I wasn't doing it. They were like, well, either do it or stop talking about it in the next call. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. So February, we decided we're going to go to South Florida for the month. My wife and kids flew down and comfortably. And I drove with the dogs and the toys or whatever from Michigan to South Florida. And on that drive, I've got this real estate portfolio that I'm building. I've got momentum with this online education business. My Bigger Pockets episode had just come out, like literally like January 30th, like just came out. And the next day I'm in a car driving to Florida in freezing cold weather out of Michigan. So all of this is kind of swirling. And this is what happened. I get on the road. I'm making phone calls. I'm listening to podcasts, whatever. But then like, there's only so much that you can do right before it's like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. And in that instance, like I can't just jump on my phone and play. Like I got to focus on the road. So it's the road in my brain. So for hours and hours, this is what happened. Like I started thinking about like, how much do I make on the side? What are my expenses? What do I have saved? What am I afraid of? Biggest question, what's the potential for what I've built if I focus fully on it, right? So all of these things are going through my brain. I stopped a couple of times, met with a guy in my pod, go on his pod in Charleston, and kind of kept it going down from there. And it kept coming up. And yeah, by the time I got to South Florida, I had made the decision, like I'm quitting my job. But when I get back after this month, I'm out. And I literally left 6 weeks later. I came back and I quit. I wanted to quit on March 12th because it was the 21-year anniversary of my start date, March 13th. So I did. I quit on March 12th, 2021 and walked away. And so, but that trip down was wow, okay, if I allow myself to actually think and get past the whatever it is, the desire to numb, like these thoughts that are bubbling up, like, oh, let me just go on Instagram quick, or let me go do this. If I actually let myself think for a minute, I get some pretty good clarity on what's next for me. And to be honest with you, the other part too is my ambitions and goals were really big. And I think when you set them too small, there's so many possibilities that you can do to get to that goal that you kind of stay in place because, I can do this, I can do that. But when you 5, 10, 20x the goal, like you get a lot of clarity on like, there's really only one thing that I can do here. There's not many things for me to get here. Like I got to do this. And the thing blocking me is the job. Like I needed to see that by stretching the goal and sort of stretching out all of these life moments for me and seeing like, okay, well, this is the action step. Why can't I take that action step? Oh, it keep coming back to the job. I can't have the job anymore. And that was how I made the leap.